The moment I stood in front of those massive school gates, my heart dropped all the way to my toes. For a hopeless romantic introvert like me, the first day of high school wasn't just a new chapter. It felt like the start of an entirely new book, new campus, new people, new expectations. And maybe, just maybe, a new love story. Okay? Candy, relax. You're here on a scholarship. Focus on your dreams, not on daydreaming about some imaginary boy. The campus was even prettier than I imagined. Sunlight filtered through tall trees, bamboo leaves swaying gently in the breeze. There was a soft scent of flowers in the air, and somewhere nearby, I could hear water trickling from a small stream. It felt peaceful, magical. Even I was busy soaking it all in when something completely ridiculous caught my eye. A squirrel, wearing a tiny blue hoodie. I blinked. Was I hallucinating already? I stared for exactly 2 seconds, and when I looked back, my tour group was gone. Wait, what? Panic rushed through me. On the first day of high school, I was officially lost. I was debating whether to cry or pretend I totally meant to be wandering alone when a smooth voice spoke behind me. Need some help? You look a little lost. I turned around, and time froze. Standing there was the most gorgeous guy I'd ever seen. Tall, calm, effortlessly put together. His smile was soft, almost shy, but it hit me like a lightning bolt. I forgot how to breathe. Actually, I forgot how to stand, because the next thing I knew, I was tipping forward and his arm shot out, catching me by the waist before I hit the ground. Whoa. Are you okay? Up close, he smelled faintly like soap and fresh air. My brain I was with the tour group, and then I lost them, and now I'm here, I blurted, wishing the floor would swallow me whole. He smiled, and I swear the sun got brighter just to highlight his face. The auditorium's that way, he said gently. I can walk you there. Walk? With him. Why, you don't have to, I insist. So he walked, and I followed, trying to act normal while internally planning our entire future. Would we have 2 kids? A dog? Why was my brain like this? We reached the auditorium doors. Here you go, he said. Oh, thank you. He reached into his pocket and pulled out something small. For good luck. A candy. I stared at it like he had just handed me a rare treasure. This was no longer food. This was destiny. Good luck, he said again, before turning and disappearing into the crowd. And just like that, he was gone. I didn't even get his name. Thankfully, high school wasn't all awkward near-fainting episodes. That same day, I met Trixie. She was bold where I was shy, loud where I was quiet, dramatic in ways that somehow made everything more fun. She plopped down next to me in homeroom and stared at me like I was a puzzle she intended to solve. You look like you think too much, she said. Is that bad? No, it's interesting. And just like that, we clicked. Be lunchtime, we were already sharing secrets like we'd known each other for years. So, she leaned forward, eyes sparkling. Have you spotted any cute guys yet? Spend one day, I protested. That's enough time to fall in love at least twice. I hesitated. There was this one guy. Her scream nearly shook the cafeteria. Girl, we are finding him. Operation Find Blue Hoodie officially began. Over the next few days, Trixie dragged me around campus like we were detectives in a low-budget mystery movie. We scanned hallways, investigated fountains, peered around corners. At one point, she literally lined up random cute guys in front of me. Is this him? No. This one? No. Candy, you are hopeless. Maybe I was, because no matter how many faces I saw, none of them were his. Then one afternoon, near the fountain, my heart skipped. That's him, I whispered. Trixie didn't hesitate. She shoved me forward. The guy turned around, and it was not him. Not even close. Back off, the stranger snapped. Trixie nearly launched into battle mode before I dragged her away, apologizing profusely. That night, doubt crept in. What if it wasn't T, even from our campus? What if he was from the upper campus elite, intimidating way out of my league section of MSC? Still, I couldn't forget him. Days passed, until one quiet afternoon at the Central Library, where students from both campuses mixed. I reached for a book, and on the other side of the shelf, Blue Hoodie. It was him. My heart slammed against my ribs. This was my moment. Say something, Candy. Instead, I panicked and ducked down behind the shelf like it was a shield. Smooth. Very smooth. When I finally gathered the courage to peek again, he was gone. Again? Why did he always disappear? The next morning, as I walked through the school gate, that familiar flutter returned. I glanced back. There he was, just a few steps behind me. My heart did a full backflip. We ended up walking side by side. I tried to look casual. I probably looked like I was learning how to walk for the first time. From the corner of my eye, I could see how tall he was. How calm. How real. Ten eternid. And walked straight into the sophomore building. Sophomore. He was older, which somehow made everything more terrifying. Later that week, during lunch, I finally managed to snap a casual selfie with him passing behind me. Trixie, look. I whispered. I got him. Her eyes widened, but instead of squealing like usual, her expression shifted. Oh, good for you. Her voice felt different. Distant. That night, her texts were short. The next day, she didn't come to school. Cass mentioned she'd been admitted to MSH hospital. Worried, I rushed there after class. I found her room number. My chest tightened as I approached the door, and then I saw him, Mr. Blue Hoodie, sitting beside Trixie's hospital bed, looking at her with quiet concern. My heart shattered in complete silence. Were we crushing on the same guy? Without thinking, I turned and ran down the hallway, tears blurring my vision. As the elevator doors closed, one painful thought echoed in my mind. Did I just lose my best friend? Over a boy? The moment Trixie said, "He's my brother," I'm pretty sure my soul left my body for a solid 5 seconds. I just stood there, blinking at Drew like he might suddenly transform into someone else. Brother, I repeated weakly. Yes. As in same parents, same house, same embarrassing childhood photos, Trixie said, crossing her arms. Mr. Nice Guy has a name. It's Drew. Drew rubbed the back of his neck, clearly wishing the ground would open up and swallow him. Hi. My brain scrambled through every dramatic hospital scene I'd replayed in my head over the weekend. So, he wasn't visiting Trixie as her secret boyfriend. He was visiting her because she's his sister, which meant I hadn't been betrayed. I just panicked. Oh, I whispered, feeling both relieved and ridiculously embarrassed. I may have misunderstood. Understatement of the century, Trixie muttered, but she was smiling now. Anyway, I'll leave you two to talk. And Drew, don't mess this up. She walked away like a proud director exiting the stage after setting up the perfect scene. And suddenly, it was just me and the boy with the blue hoodie. The air felt different. Quieter. Like the world had decided to give us a moment. I'm sorry, Drew said softly. About the hospital. I didn't know you were there. I didn't exactly stay long, I admitted. He let out a nervous laugh. I've been trying to talk to you properly for weeks, but every time I see you, my brain just stops working. I stared at him. You? Nervous? Very, he said. You're kind of intimidating. Me? I almost choked. I nearly fainted the first time we met. That was memorable, he said, smiling. We both laughed, and just like that, the tension melted. We sat down by the river near campus, the same place I'd daydreamed about 100 times. The water sparkled under the afternoon sun, and for once, my thoughts weren't racing ahead into some fantasy future. They were right here. With him, I liked you from the first day, Drew admitted. You looked so lost, but also so determined, like you were scared, but still ready to take on the world. My heart softened. No one had ever described me like that before. I thought you'd forgotten about me, I said. You kept disappearing. I wasn't disappearing, he said quickly. I just didn't know how to approach you. I'd see you with Trixie and panic. So you just walked away, basically. I shook my head, smiling. We're both hopeless. Maybe, he said. Or maybe we're just new at this. New at this. That felt right. We were two awkward teenagers trying to figure out feelings that didn't come with instructions. Slowly, carefully, his hand inched closer to mine on the bench. Can I? He asked quietly. I nodded. When his fingers wrapped around mine, it felt simply warm. Real. Not dramatic. Not like in the movies. Just steady. I still have the candy you gave me, I confessed, pulling it from my wallet. He blinked. You kept it. I was going to build a shrine for it. He laughed, the sound light and genuine. I should have given you chocolate instead. That would have been more impressive. It worked. Primera Said softly. It made me brave. His expression shifted, something deeper, flickering in his eyes. I'm glad, he said, because I've been trying to be brave too. We talked for what felt like hours. About classes, about dreams, about how I wanted to prove to myself that I deserved my scholarship, about how he sometimes felt overshadowed by expectations of being the older sibling. It wasn't just flirting anymore. It was understanding, and for the first time, I realized first love isn't just about butterflies. It's about being seen. So, he said eventually, rubbing his thumb nervously against my hand. There's this cafe, downtown. It's quiet. They have amazing strawberry cake. I was wondering if you'd maybe want to go with me this weekend. A date? A real one? With you? I teased. Preferably. I pretended to think about it. I guess I could make time. He grinned. I'll take that as a yes. It's a yes. The word felt big. Brave. Exciting. We stood up, still holding hands, both smiling like complete idiots, and then a voice behind us cleared dramatically. Ahem. We turned. Trixie stood there with her arms crossed, trying and failing not to grin. Relax, she said. I'm not interrupting. I just came to say one thing. Drew groaned. Please don't. She ignored him. Candy. If he does anything even remotely stupid, I have baby pictures. I was 3. Drew protested. And you wore a dinosaur onesie in public? Sisut bike. I burst out laughing. This right here was what I'd been so afraid of losing. My best friend, the start of something new. And somehow, they weren't competing anymore. They were connected. Later that evening, as I walked home, my phone buzzed. A message from Drew. Hey, I had a really good time today. I'm glad we finally talked. I smiled at the screen. Me too. Took us long enough. A second message popped up. There's something else I need to tell you before our date. My heart skipped. Something else. What is it? I typed back. The 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Finally, his reply came through. It's about why I really transferred into this campus this year. Transferred. I stopped walking. Transferred. My stomach fluttered, not in a bad way, but in that uncertain, about to learn something important way. What do you mean? I typed. This time, the 3 dots lingered longer. Then, let's talk about it on Saturday. I'd rather tell you in person. In person. Why did that sound so serious? I stared at the screen, my reflection faintly visible against the dark glass. Just when I thought I finally understood this story, a new chapter was opening. And I had a feeling Saturday was going to change everything.